Alright. So, how's everyone doing today? Good. Well, it's good to be back in Texas since the Teen Challenge event is in Missouri. I'm very nervous if you can't tell. So. I'll just start with where I guess, my family has always been supportive of me and loving. I just want it off. I just didn't take the right path. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. So in elementary school, it was I wasn't too bad of a kid. I colored down every now and then, but overall I was your normal elementary school kid. In middle school, I didn't do very well. Didn't do that bad though either. I just started, making bad grades, not really caring about much. I just always did what I wanted to do and didn't care. And then my freshman year in high school, I got mixed up with the wrong crowd. I started smoking and stuff. It just slowly progressed from like a one-time thing. Because in middle school I said I was never gonna smoke. But in high school, I started to smoke, and just slowly progressed to once a week, to every day, to a couple times a day, until eventually in high school I got caught with weed at school, and I got taken to a juvenile detention center, and that was kind of hard because it was my first time, and I was there for 2 weeks, and then I got out, and they put me on like some waiting probation. You're not allowed to leave at all without your parents. So that was kind of tough. And then after 9 months of that, I finally went to court, and they told me that whole 9 months didn't even count at all. And then I got quartered 9 more months on the exact same type of probation. And so I guess something inside of me just sort of snapped. I said, if you wanna put me on probation, then I'll just start doing my own thing again, because I was sober for the whole 9 months. So I went back at it again, but this time 10 times worse, and started doing harder drugs, ecstasy, codeine, stuff like that, just harder drugs. And slowly, I stopped caring about my life, and I stopped caring about my family. And, sorry. It was just so hard. Seeing the hurt, I could tell my family was hurting. And I slowly stopped caring about that too. And I just started doing whatever I wanted to do, whenever. And I'm so thankful that I'm not dead right now, because I know I shouldn't. And so after a while, I started, just going in and out of the juvenile detention center. And every time I would just get worse. My time out of jail would just lessen and lessen. And I just completely stopped caring about life. And then the court system finally got fed up with me just coming in and out. So on my 4th time, they put me in a boot camp. And that was kind of hard. I stayed sober for about 4 months. And after that, they took me off the ankle monitor that I was on because I got to go home. And so I just decided, it doesn't matter anymore. I'm just going to stop trying. My life doesn't matter. I'll just get back to what I was doing. So I left the house one night, and I just went out and met up with some friends. They had a car. We drove around, and we just weren't making the right decisions. And went to a gas station to get a pack of cigarettes and fill up the car. And a cop came out, and I had a cigarette in my ear, and so I was only 15, so or I was 16, so I didn't look anywhere close to 18. And so, you know, the cop stopped me and was like, "What is that in your ear?" So I, you know, because I tried to hide it and stuff and just walked away in the car, but he kind of chased after me. And so, they notified my boot camp, and then I got taken back to the detention center. And that was December 25th, 2009, that I got taken back. And then I got out. No, it was probably like the 24th. It was right before Christmas. And then I got out 2 days after Christmas. I was back out on ankle monitor, and my friend came over, and we just, I did a little bit of cocaine and took some bars, or some Xanax, and we went back to boot camp, and that was on Monday, or no, that was Friday or Saturday, and we came dirty on our drug test, and so we both got taken back to the juvenile detention center. And 2 days later, my friend was like, let's just run. Let's just get out of here. Let's just break out and run. So I was like, all right, whatever. It doesn't really matter. And so 2 days later, December 30th of 2009, we broke out of the detention center during rec time, and we made a run for it. And while running, a bunch of cops, like an undercover cop, saw us and told us, you know, hit the ground and stuff. So we took off running, and we went down to the bank of the Brazos River, and I was running along the bank, and I fell in the river. And you know, it was December, so it was pretty cold. And so I just decided, you know, I'm just gonna stay in the river. Maybe it'll eventually go away. Who knows? And so I started turning purple. All my veins were popping out. I started, you know, I was freezing cold. And so a boat came. It was like a fire station boat. I don't know why there was a boat there. Thank God there was a boat there though. And so they came, they got me out of the water, and they took me to the hospital, and they had to hurry and pump warm fluids into my body because I was about to go through hypothermia because I was so cold. And you know, I should have died there too. But thank God again, I did. And you know, after I went to the hospital, they took me back, and I just completely stopped caring about my life. They put me on room confinement where you only leave your room 5 minutes a day to shower. And I was on that for 2 months, and I remember them telling me they wanted to take me to TYC, which is it's like a juvenile prison type thing. And so you know, my parents, they didn't want me to go there. They wanted me to go to Teen Challenge. And my dad came and he told me, he's like, we're gonna try to get you into Teen Challenge. And I was like, Dad, no, I'm not gonna go. Just let me go to TYC. Let me get my time done, and let me go back, let me move on with my life. I'm tired of being in here. He said no, and I said, Dad, if you say Teen Challenge again, I'm just gonna walk out of this visitation. And I could see the hurt in his eyes. I could see that he just all I wanted to do was help. All my family wanted to do was help. And I just completely ignored the help. But eventually, there was a youth minister there named Mr. Abuku, and he asked if anyone, you know, wanted private counseling sessions, and I said that, you know, if it'll allow me to get out of my cell, then I'll go. So slowly he started, you know, just telling me, you know, listen to your parents, listen to what they have to say. Stop ignoring them for once in your life. And so they started saying about Teen Challenge. It sounded like a good program. It was 6 months longer than the TYC, so I still didn't really want to go, but I just decided, you know, I'll go with it. And so after being there for 7 months, they released me to my parents' custody and told me I had to be in Branson, Missouri in 2 days to Teen Challenge. And so I got to Teen Challenge, and I completely hated it at first because all they talked about was God. And all my life, I wanted to stay as far away from that as I could possible because I knew, it would just, following God would not be doing what I wanted to do at the time. And so I was like, you know what, no, I'm just going to pretend, I'm just going to act like I am, and, just move on with my life. And once I get out, just go back to what I was doing before. And so, for about 9 months, I just tried to fake it, and I did a horrible job. I kept getting caught with stuff, and kept getting in trouble all the time. And it was pretty obvious that I wasn't living a Christ-like life, because I was in no way, shape, or form a Christ-like example, like I should have been. And then at my 9-10-month mark, Mr. Jake, which is the director, had a service, a church service, and he said, we need some visionaries in here, some real Christ-like men that just want to follow God and do His will. So I said, my way isn't working at all. Maybe if I follow God, maybe His way, I'll just try it. Maybe it will work for me. And so I went up to the altar, and I said the prayer and stuff, and I was like, all right, let's see it. Let's see God work. And then right after that, I just said, this is too hard, because it seems like once you try to follow God, every demon in hell wants to get at you. And so I was just like, whatever. But then later that night, I was just sleeping, or I wasn't sleeping. I was just laying there, and I really felt God calling me. He was like, Trey, just stop. Just give me a try. I want to love you. I want to know you. I want to have a relationship. I want to restore your family. So I said, all right, God. So in the bathroom, probably 11:30 at night, in the stall, I said, all right, God, I'll follow you. I'll try it your way for once in my life. And so, God's love for us really is unending. He'll love you, and He'll meet you no matter where you are, no matter what you've done in your life. He'll forgive you, He'll restore you, and make you a new person. There's this skit we do at Teen Challenge, and it's called the What Would Have Happened Room. And it's about this guy that wakes up in the What Would Have Happened room, and there's buttons. And if you press a button, an image or a scene from your life pops up, and it shows you what happens if you made a different decision in your life. On the first button, his friends were trying to pressure him into doing drugs, and he was like, no, Angel. I said no because the angel was there. He was like, Angel, I said no. I was a good person. I didn't do the drugs. So the angel was like, okay, you were a good person. Let's see what happens if you did do the drugs. And he ended up overdosing, running from the cops. He eventually died at the end. And then you press another button, and it was like, it was where his friends were trying to pressure him into stealing a car. The angel was like, so you stole a car and you're in my room? And he's like, no, Angel, I said no to stealing a car. I was a good person. The angel was like, oh yeah, that's right, you're a good person. Well, let's see what happened if you did steal a car. Well, in the end, he wrecked it and died. And so the angel was like, all right, press any button except for the gold button. And the guy presses the gold button. And in awe, he looks up at the screen. He's like, Angel, what is this place? The angel says, this is heaven. He's like, okay, so let me get this straight. None of the other stuff really happened, but this is really going to happen, right? And the angel said, no. The guy goes, why? I was a good person. I made the right choices in life. I didn't do drugs. I didn't steal any car. I was a good person. The angel says, you were a great person. But when it came to the most important decision of your life, which is accepting Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you said no to Him. I'm sorry, my hands are tied. I can't do anything. And Jesus loves all of us so much. And he just doesn't want you to just follow a list of rules. He wants to really know you. He wants to have a relationship with you. He just wants to love you. And he loves you so much. And He wants to meet you here today. He wants you to accept Him into your life if you haven't. he's just an amazing God. He loves all of us so much. And I'm just so thankful for what he's done in my life, where he's completely restored my family. Like, my whole family's here. They're all supportive. They all love me so much. And I thank God every day for them. And he can do the same thing for you too, that he's done for me. So, thank you for letting me speak.